The title of the research article is The Effect of Auditory versus Visual Violent Media Exposure on Aggressive Behavior, the Role of Song Lyrics, Video Clips, and Musical Tone. Digital media permeates almost all facets of our lives today, particularly with the introduction of the smartphone. Media is accessible to us 24/7. Therefore, we need to ask whether access to this media has an effect on us, particularly one that may be harmful. As genres such as rap and rock appear more frequently on hit charts, where aggressive and violent behavior are the sole focus of lyrics, there is a convincing importance to discover the effect this is having on our lives. The rationale for this study was drawn from a lack of literature on the effect of violent lyrics on aggressive behavior, and the impact of violent and audiovisual modes on aggressive behavior. Moreover, previous studies place importance in musical tone rather than lyrics affecting aggressive behavior, encouraging the researchers to hold musical tone constant. As children and adolescents are more commonly the consumers of music videos and are more susceptible to identify with the main characters, largely portrayed as aggressive, there is a practical need to investigate further the effects from this research. On the other hand, the theoretical importance of this study stems from the current inconsistencies in the literature on the effect of violent lyrics on aggressive behavior. Researchers have called for increased methodologically sound studies to clarify the role of lyrics and tone in violent music, therefore ensuring that studies are held to a higher scientific standard. The aim of this study was to use violent music video clips to compare the effect of violent visual and auditory media using a behavioral measure of aggression. To ascertain the effects of violent lyrics on behavior, musical tone was held constant. The hypothesis put forward by the researchers was when musical tone is held constant, violent lyrics would encourage increased aggression with or without the visual of video clip, and video clip would increase aggression with or without lyrics. Moreover, the combination of both the violent video clip and lyrics would conclude the most aggression from participants. The study consisted of 184 participants, both students and staff, whom were mostly recruited from Macquarie University in Sydney. Of this, 99 participants were female, a total of 54%, and 85 were male, the remaining 46%. The mean age of participants in this study was 20.6 years old. The study, however, did not identify the age range of participants involved in the study. Moreover, the number of participants stated in the research paper is incorrect with the figure of female and male participants given. These shortcomings will be discussed in the limitations section. Within gender groups, participants were randomly allocated to a group, creating a between-subject factorial design, including violent lyrics and no violent lyrics, violent video, no violent video, or a separate control group which experienced no media. As this was a factorial design, there were 3 independent variables in this study: the lyric and visual component, participant covariates, and measure of hostility. The lyrical and visual media were defined and measured by researchers to include 3 types of songs: rock, rap, or heavy metal, and these were identified via Google using keywords such as violent songs, angry songs, and hate songs. The 3 chosen ensured clarity of lyrics, arousability of tone, and the level of violence portrayed in the clip and song. Next, to avoid the confounding of tests, covariates were included as an independent variable. These were defined as within-person aggression-related factors, including depression, anxiety, personality traits, stress, and prior exposure to media violence. Each of these were measured for using a respective scientifically approved scale or questionnaire. Lastly, hostility was an independent variable and a process measure, determining the base of aggression of participants. This was defined as how agitated and effective the participants deemed themselves to be. Hostility was measured using 8 items from the hostility inventory and 9-item mood scale. To assess the level of aggression, participants were required to pour chili sauce for an unmet participant, knowing the sauce was extremely hot, the participant highly disliked spicy and hot foods, and that they would have to eat it. Thus, the dependent variable of this study is the amount of hot sauce poured by the participant. The dependent variable was measured by the researchers using an electronic scale with 1 gram increments. Therefore, this determined the level of aggression shown by participants. The results show exposure to violent lyrical content produced greater aggression than listening without the lyrics. Sexually violent songs were found to have an effect on aggressive thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. The study also found, although musical tone did increase average aggression, this was not significant as when lyrics were introduced to the stimuli. Conclusively, violent lyrics were a primary driver of the aggression experienced by participants through the activation of aggression-related conceptual frameworks and triggers. This information has strong implications for society today, as the advancement in technology has made accessing media much easier, especially at a younger age. Today, children as young as 9 years old have smartphones from which they can access media-based apps such as YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and Facebook. Consequently, the ease in access and reach of media combined with the impact of aggressive lyrical, visual, and musical tone can potentially prime aggressive concepts, schemas, and scripts. Theoretically, the implications of these findings highlight that tone is not the sole influencer of aggressive behavior, thus encouraging further research and a new pathway into the field of aggressive lyrical concepts. There are several limitations of the study that we have identified. Firstly, the number of participants recorded for this study by the researchers was 194. However, upon calculations of the number of females, males present in the study, 99 and 85 respectively, this number totals to 184. Consequently, this discrepancy can affect the accuracy of the findings presented. Moreover, the age range of participants in the study was not presented in the text. This poses a limitation as we are not able to interpret the findings from the highest and lowest points of observation. Furthermore, there is a great deal of importance in the study placed on the exposure and potential impact of violent media on children. However, the sample obtained for the experiment was targeted towards adults. Therefore, the study is limited through its inability to explain or account for the influence and exposure violent media would have on children. This can be reconciled with future studies targeting a younger age sample to determine aggressive behavior and the effects that media has. Thank you.